Thank you. I'm running for city council because I would like to see this city continue to prosper, and I believe I can help it do that. I have professional experience in financial planning and teamwork, proven dedication to the community and volunteering work, and a comprehensive business background, 39 years. I believe in the fight for the paying field to keep commercial out of there. I want to see more aerospace continue to come in and grow and expand. I'll provide a strong voice for responsible development on the waterfront that will bring in business to Mukilteo. Hard work to assure more sidewalks and safer streets, crosswalks and intersections here in Mukilteo. We have some unsafe ones here. One of the key things is affordable living for the elderly that was on the fixed home. I don't want to see us tax our elderly out of their home. I want to see them keep it. I understand the importance of the economic development, generating more comprehensive business environment, attracting new businesses and investments while creating jobs, and working with the Chamber of Commerce on that can be done. One of the things that I found is that I do the research, I listen to the public, I hear the different sides before I make decisions, and whatever the outcome comes on the council, even if it goes against my vote, I will back in a positive manner. I understand that I'm running as a citizen council member, and working on a 7-member council requires working together, and I have no power as an individual, but when it comes together as a council, when we come together as a council, we can accomplish some great things for this city, and I want to be a part of that. That's why I asked for your vote. Thank you.
Ms. Preshaw, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Mukilteo is magical, and with your support, we can keep it that way. I am running because we need independent, critical thinkers on board as we grapple with the issues that you have all heard about tonight, and there's a lot more issues that need to be dealt with. I think it is important for you to have council members who can create a safe environment where the hard questions can be asked, because those questions need to be asked. Otherwise, we'll be going down a path where all of a sudden there's a surprise that no one anticipated. Somebody has to do this. Somebody has to be the devil's advocate, and that's a role I'm very comfortable with. That being said, I have been a lawyer for over 30 years. I am an international business immigration lawyer, and my practice is not a litigation practice. It is a collaborative, facilitative practice. People pay me to solve their problems. For me, litigation is the last resort, and that is the type of attitude I will bring to council. Confrontation will be the last resort. Collaboration is my style. To serve you, I want to do these things. I want to balance our budget without siphoning off reserves and raising taxes. And I'd like to do a little sidebar on my fumbled question. I was right. Public safety was put first as a budget priority. In addition, investing and maintaining our infrastructure, in this particular case for this year, by replacing equipment for the police and fire departments, was a priority. Rose Hill was indeed a priority because we have a $906,000 bond payment to make, protecting the environment, spending almost $1 million on stormwater management. The gap is still 2.74%. We've been talking about a soft landing for many years now. We really need to land this and have the budget truly balanced, which means our expenditures do not exceed our income. I also pledge to perform due diligence, i.e. do the homework, so that we can avoid Disasters like the IT disaster, the public works director hiring fiasco. If we had done homework, that wouldn't have happened. And finally, putting citizens first, not personal agendas. Your vote is pivotal, and I appreciate your support.
Thank you, Ms. Preshaw. Position number 3 will begin with Mr. Lord. You have 3 minutes.
Well, thank you all for coming out here. It's impressive to see you invest 2 hours of your time to participate in the democratic process at the grassroots level. Since the 8 years I've been on here in the city council, we've done amazing things. You're sitting here in one of the most spectacular buildings. This was a discussion that was argued for decades. City Hall was argued for decades. I was sworn in a building that neither had heat nor air conditioning, depending on what part of the year it was. But we've solved those problems because we've worked collaboratively. Over the hill was Lighthouse Park. It's a jewel for the region. We're about to do the tank farm transfer. In fact, we're going to have the event next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, where it actually is going to finally, after 70 years, come back to our neck of the woods. We're going to be working with the Port of Everett. All of that, we actually went down, got a AAA rating from Standard & Poor's. I think we're one of the 3 towns in the state that can do that, and we maintained it through the height of the Great Recession. And probably the thing out of all that I'm most proud of is that we've changed from a reactive, think about what's going on, to a proactive environment where everybody on the council and staff is now asking ourselves financial questions like not what's going to happen next month or 6 months, nor even a year, but what we're doing 5 years from now. And what kind of plans do we have put in place that we know that we have to replace this roof 20, 25 years from now? What policies do we have to put in place now so we can cover that? But we can't rest on the laurels, and there's plenty more we got to do. The ferry is going to be a very exciting project. There's plenty of these potential plans, but now that the property is actually back to the state of Washington, we're going to have to work with the ferries. We're going to have to work with NOAA. We're going to have to work with the trains. We're going to have to work with the tribes. We're all going to work and make sure that that essential public facility that serves a region is not at the expense of the citizens who live here. We've graciously donated one of our greatest properties that we have, and we probably will never get it back to become this one massive park that we all like to have, because we can't. It is a public facilities, but what we can do is we can work with all the entities, and we can let them know that Mukilteo is here and we have our needs, and we need you to be good neighbors, and they all know that. And so we've been sitting at the table with them for months, even years, telling them what it is that we need to do. We're going to have a promenade, and we're going to have Japanese golds back. Out of all this is the main thing I really want to do. Is I've had amazing regional and collaborative support from people all across the county, from all the way up to the executive to the mayor and all 5 members of the council. I'm proud to have what I've done, and I really want to earn your vote, so I want to be able to do some more. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lord. Mr. Taylor, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Well, I've never done anything like this before. I'm not a politician. It's obvious I'm not a politician. I don't have political goals. I don't want to move from the city council to the mayorship to a state legislative position. I don't want to do any of that. All I want to do is make music and enjoy my wife and my dogs and my city. We have an awful lot of challenges here. This is a very, very small town. This is the smallest city I've ever lived in. But it's unique and has unique problems. One of the biggest problems with Mukilteo is it's a ping pong ball being kicked around by all these outside forces: federal government, state government, transportation agencies, ports. I want Mukilteo for us. We're the ones that live here. We're the ones that pay for things here. And my purpose in coming to the council is to re-examine the vision, re-examine the long-term vision and long-term goals, re-examine the master plan, re-examine the plan for the Gulch and the waterfront, try to get more out of these things for our citizens, rather than just a simple promenade along the waterfront, looking at all the nice shops and things, whatever they're going to put down there. I want to go down to the waterfront and walk on the beach. I want to be able to park in Lighthouse Park and spend 15 minutes there just looking at the sunset. It takes 20 minutes just to find a parking spot. I want sidewalks in my neighborhood. I want a program to encourage citizens to quit running stop signs before one of us gets killed. It's a huge problem. I know it sounds like just a little bit. But if I could, I'd get Rex to deputize me so I could go out and hand out tickets to all the people that are running stop signs, because it's a big problem. I've almost been smashed to pieces more times than I can tell you in the last 20 years. So I'm not here to oppose whomever is the mayor. I'm not here to throw a rock in things, but we do need to slow down, count the costs, look at our plans, and get citizens more involved so that they understand what the plans and visions are for their city, and maybe do some revision so that the citizens come out on top for a change, because it's been like this for years, and it may not get better without work.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Position number 2, Mr. Emery, you have 3 minutes.
Well, I want to thank everyone again for being here. I hope you found this informative and enlightening. I've had the pleasure and privilege of being on the council for the past 6 years, and I find it to be a role in which I can be of service to the community. And I think in my role as a council member and my 2 years as president on the council, and with my participation in many of the committees, that I've helped move Mukilteo forward, make it the sort of marvelous and wonderful place that it is now and will continue to be. So I'm asking for your support to help make that happen, give me the opportunity to be of service for 4 more years. My focus would be on pedestrian safety, encouraging neighborhoods to develop in ways that makes them feel comfortable in their neighborhood. That's where they live. People should have the right to do that. I want to keep working on the Long-Range Financial Planning Committee, the budget process, which has been eminently successful over the past 5 years in keeping the city moving and keeping that AAA bond rating. I want to close the transaction in the Japanese Gulch, so we'll have that as a legacy for all the future generations who will enjoy Mukilteo. And there's a lot of work to be done on the ferry waterfront development project to make that the best project that we can for Mukilteo, and make this still one of the most livable places in the country. And with your support, I can do that. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Emery. Mr. Champion, 3 minutes.
I also would like to thank you all for being here this evening, and I hope you've enjoyed the debate. I am running, as I said, because I do want to keep Mukilteo unique, small, and beautiful. I do see the threat that commercial service to Painfield gives to this city, to the community, and our way of life. I've worked in aerospace for 33 years. I've worked in operations, I've worked in engineering, I've worked in finance. I've run multi-million-dollar projects at Painfield and other places in the world. I've seen a lot. I'd like to bring my years of experience in aerospace to bring basically the experience that I have that can help us keep Boeing here, keep commercial service out of Painfield, allow us to build in the community to support that aerospace service and address the future concerns as we see them moving forward. I thank you. I ask you for your vote, and I wish you all a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the candidates ask for your vote. Alan Keyes wrote, "The act of voting is one opportunity for us to remember that our whole way of life is predicated on the capacity of ordinary people to judge carefully and well." We hope that tonight's debate enables you to make that decision. At this time, please join me in a round of applause for all of the candidates.